If there's one thing I love, it's a good challenge. Over the years, flat earthers and others have set countless challenges, and of course, I've set my own. So when I saw that a certain space denier has set his own challenge, I couldn't resist. Hello all and welcome along to another video with me, Simon Dan. Thanks very much for joining me. Right, on with today's video then, which comes from Level Earth Observer. He has something that he's calling the Space Debunk Challenge. And I'm all for it, so without further ado, let's get on with it, shall we?
The Space Debunk Challenge, starring Simon Dan, Dave McKeegan and Jeranism. I say starring Simon Dan and Dave McKeegan. Dave McKeegan ran away. Flat out ran away from the Space Debunk Challenge, which is strange considering he's supposed to be a debunker, a defender of space. Yet when the Space Debunk Challenge came up, he ran away. And so did Simon Dan.
Well, I didn't know of any Space Debunk Challenge before, but I now do, so I'm here to have a go, Level Earth Observer.
Another so-called debunker, defender of space. He ran away from the Space Debunk Challenge. It's probably just as well he did, because one of Dan's heroes, someone he's going to cite in a minute, is actually part of the Space Debunk Challenge, and they're going to mug Dan off and make him look rather silly. So it's probably just as well he did run away from the Space Debunk Challenge.
Oh no, another threat of me looking silly. Let's see what he has in store, shall we?
But one person, bizarrely enough, stood up and said, I'm up for the Space Debunk Challenge. I want to debunk Leo. And bizarrely enough, that person was Jeranism. So Jeran, we're going to entertain in a minute, as he attempts to take on just one of the videos of the Space Debunk Challenge. But first, let's see Dan.
I was reading about how SpaceX have launched a rescue mission for the 2 astronauts stuck in space, a place which Level Earth Observer, of course, does not believe in.
Should we check in with one of the stranded astronauts Dan's talking about?
Now, let's bear in mind here that those astronauts are no longer stranded, and they are indeed now back home on terra firma.
Yeah, why not?
Awesome. And obviously I do want to ask...
You guessed it. One of the astronauts Dan's talking about, Butch Wilmore, supposedly stranded on the ISS. Butch is part of the Space Debunk Challenge, the very challenge Simon Dan and Dave McKeegan have run away from. And there's a good reason for that. Look.
The spacecraft that brought you up to the International Space Station was manufactured by Boeing. Do you have any suggestions for them for next time?
Boing.
Sure.
Boing.
Suggestions. And we'll share all of those, and they've made some great strides and wonderful positive impacts on the human space flight. And
No, it all makes for a fantastic story. Until you apply a bit of common sense and logic.
Common sense and logic? Why don't you apply that to the golden carabiners flying around? I bet you don't even acknowledge them.
And you can see that Butch is supposed to be in a weightless environment. The moment he jumps up, he should keep going until some sort of force, whether it be his head planting into the roof of the space station or his arm bracing and stopping him from doing that. But Butch is not having those dilemmas whatsoever. He's just bouncing up and down in an impossible way if he was on the space station.
Let's remember first that the ISS is not in zero gravity. It's in constant free fall around the Earth. That's why it appears weightless. Gravity at that altitude is still around 90% that of what it is on Earth's surface. But because the ISS and everything inside it are falling at the same rate, it creates that floating effect. What Level Earth Observer is watching is not an uncontrolled jump. It's a deliberate, controlled bounce. Probably using his feet to stay in place and oscillating gently. What it is not is evidence of gravity or wires. It's evidence of someone who has spent months in space, learning to float with precision in a weightless environment.
Remember, Simon Dan cited this story as, I don't know why, as some sort of something. And you entertain the stranded astronaut. It's just bouncing sci-fi. for the silly people. Now, the one person that did man up and said, do you know what? I'm going to have a go, is Jeran. Let's see how Jeran got on.
Jeran, of course, being the newly defected from Flat Earth Globe Earther after he went to Antarctica for the final experiment.
So Jeran spent just over an hour on his live the other day trying to debunk this clip. I've compressed it down into a short sort of highlights, if you like. I'm not going to come in much, but I will come in at one point just to highlight something that's relevant, the direction it goes with what relates to what Jeran's saying. But other than that, I'm going to keep the flow of the video and I'll come in at the end kind of thing, okay? So I'll let Jeran take it away.
Level Earth Observer says it's about an official NASA clip that can't be explained by any Glober. Dave McKeegan doesn't want to know. You up for the challenge? Sure. So you have a NASA clip that can't be explained? I'll take it. I'll look onto it. Because, yeah, I'll agree with you. I have no idea what would be causing him to come back down like that. That actually looks like he's on the moon or something like that, right?
Very honest from Jeran, and this is what I like about him. Remember, it's okay to say I don't know.
And I think that all these things have answers now, so I don't think that it's anything to be afraid of. It's just we'll find the answer. So I will get back to you, Leo. I will look into other things that these astronauts do and figure out why that would be the case. Because I agree. He goes up here, and it is like he's on some sort of trampoline. He can't be attached to the bar. I've seen those bars. They're maybe 6 inches off the ground at the most. I wonder if we can find a video with those on there so we can see.
Well, I don't know that you can see he can't be. We don't know where those bars are in relation to the shot.
Yeah, I'd have to get back to you because I'll have to watch more tape to see. Yeah, he's way off the ground there. Doesn't look to be holding the ground there.
But he does look like he's bending his knees. So perhaps he's relatively close to that bar and that bounce is just his knees bending.
Watch how high he gets here. He just leapt from the ground. You're thinking that he still has his foot attached to the ground. How would that be possible? Watch where his knees are right here, and then watch where they end up. Way below this bottom line.
True, but you can see the full extension of legs followed by knee bending. That is quite a lot of range.
Jeran, you know about the foot handholds on the ISS in every surface, right? I do. Yes, that's what I've said. Pointed out that we're...
Obviously, this is Jeran reacting to the chat now, and you're going to hear a common theme here as the Globers in Jeran's chat get quite desperate at the fact that Jeran's struggling to dissect this or debunk it in any shape or form. And this is obviously what Jeran's responding to. We can't see the chat on the screen, unfortunately.
And I pointed out that it would be impossible for him to be attached to it. So why don't you get? He's pulling back down on the foothold with the top of his feet. Guys, do you not see how far away he gets from the ground?
And this is my point. We don't really know where the floor of the ISS is in relation to the frame of the video.
How can he be pulling on the foothold with the top of his feet? This scares me a little bit when I see Globe Earthers start acting like this. It's like, let's just get to the real answer rather than just make things up. Why are you making that up? Let's see. Jeran, this is why the chat matters. They have blue bars on it. This is why I don't look at the chat, Kevin. You don't think I can know that? You just keep repeating the same thing. We all know he has footholds. Leo said it. I said it. Everybody in the chat saying it. Here you are. Just keep repeating yourself. Jeran, this is why the chat matters, man. They have blue bars on every wall to help keep their hands and feet under to pull themselves towards whatever surface. Right, but he's going too far from the surface.
Now, I do understand Jeran's frustration here, actually, because he has already addressed the bars. Perhaps there's a slight delay in the chat. I don't know.
He can't be on the ground and be doing jumps 2.5 feet in the sky. It's like, why is this so difficult for people? And why can't we just talk about it? Why can't we have a discussion? It's like you guys want to shut it down. Like, well, somebody's questioning space. Everything is real. Everything's the realest it's ever been. We don't have to answer anything. It's because he's keeping his feet there. I don't like that. Why don't we just answer the question? Why don't we get to the bottom of it? But I could not answer Leo's challenge. I don't know the answer to that. But I'm sure there is an answer. I'll get back to you.
Again, very honest from Jeran there.
I was reading...
At least you tried, Jeran. You had a go live. You spent over an hour. And I actually heard glimpses of your old self there coming out, which was interesting. But fair play, you had a go. And that was only one of what is 5 clips. These 5 clips that I've got, obviously the one we've just seen, of course, prove that space is being faked to us.
I disagree. It doesn't prove that. It demonstrates that you don't have an answer as to why he's doing what he's doing. Now, I may disagree with Jeran's assessment of it, because I do believe it's to do with those foothold bars, and that he is closer to them than we think he is. And that's okay. And my opinion could be wrong as well, of course. But I do believe it to be a satisfactory explanation. That clip alone does not prove anything. Certainly not that space is being faked. That is an outlandish comment from Level Earth Observer. Well, there we go, everyone. What did we think of that one? How hard was Level Earth Observer's space challenge there? Let me know in the comments below. As I say, we're all done and dusted for another one. Thanks so much for watching today. As ever, it's very much appreciated. If you enjoyed it, please do consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the thumbs up button too. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow for the return of Hans Wormhat. See you then.